And welcome to the finale of Batman, where now we're in the clock tower ready to take on the Joker. And this is definitely the hardest stage in the game, and especially because it starts out with these tricky ass jumps. And that is gonna happen a few times where you do make a jump, but then there are gonna be those sentry droids waiting for you. Which is always something that's never any fun to deal with. But either way, you do have to make it through this whole part in one go around just because there are no checkpoints until you get to the bosses, which we will discuss in plenty of detail once we get there. But either way, one of the things that makes this stage extremely nasty is that lots of enemies and also lots of gears that you have to master wall jumping with. Especially this part here, that's really the first taste of how tricky this stage is. Especially when you got these flamethrower guys that are going right at you. But either way, I'm finally glad I'm back to recording. I mean, school just got in the way, and then, you know, school, tests, conferences, whole bunch of other stuff. But at least it's calmed down a little bit, so at least hopefully I can get my Halloween Let's Play recorded pretty soon. But as you can tell, I am doing this post-commentary just because, I mean, I'd just rather do it that way just because, well, this stage is really hard, and I just didn't want to set everything up and then just have to do multiple takes, and then it would probably take like half an hour just to record. And then of course that's why I left in this whole farming for energy thing, which is of course pretty much required in this stage because, like I said before, you don't get any checkpoints until you get to the bosses. And it's not like this stage is short either. Especially when you gotta make tricky jumps and then deal with these guys that are attacking you from above. But one thing I am going to do with this Let's Play is that, let's see, thanks to other reviews of this game, specifically Cygnus Destroyer, who is also known as the LJN Defender, he did also mention that there was a prototype of this game, and that the cutscenes were actually much different in that version than the, oh, this jump is fun. Or that the cutscenes were much different in the prototype compared to the final product. And of course, this part just gets really nasty because you do have to manage that arm, and then you also have to manage avoiding the gears, and yeah, not a lot of fun. Of course, I've cleared that last one like once with the gears, but I mean, that's always a rarity. And that's out of the hundreds of times I played this stage. Because, of course, I did have to practice this stage a lot just because it's pretty unforgiving. Yeah, see, this is another jump that's damn near impossible to make. And then, of course, you can also run into problems when you end up going too high and hitting one of the gears. Yeah, so gears are always fun. Especially because I kind of had problems with, whenever I tried to fall and wall jump, I just fell. But fortunately, we're almost up to the end here. And see, now that we got that, we get to fight, the boss, and I forget what this guy's name was. But either way, in the prototype, this guy was actually supposed to be the final boss. And then you never actually fought Joker, which I thought was pretty interesting. I mean, just a really interesting factoid. But either way, the strategy against this guy is I jump over his fireballs. And then, really, I'm just staying back here and then using batarangs. I think if you don't hit him soon enough, then he is gonna punch. But then, I don't know, that's kind of the way I tested that theory. And then a lot of other people do try to beat this guy by just rushing him and then hope that he dies before Batman does. I mean, that's just one way to do it. But then again, with some of the bosses in this game, that is sometimes a necessary strategy. Especially because this guy takes a ton of batarangs to kill. Yeah, so I mean, unfortunately, this boss fight is kind of monotonous, but it is also, that's like pretty fun in my opinion, too. And see, with that said, we should be approaching the Joker soon. You do get some health back between, or before you fight the Joker, but not really enough to make it an interesting fight. So now it's time to confront the Joker. And the Joker does have a pretty tough pattern, and it's kind of random as to whether or not he uses that gun or he makes lightning fall. But either way, what I'm doing here is just trying to get close to him, punch him, and then try and jump over his gun. Especially because this is where that little squat between the jumps gets noticeably, or it's pretty noticeable. And then I'm using the other strategy of just trying to duck under his gunshots, which you can do that if you're close enough. Especially because that thing is... Yeah, especially because that thing does take off 3 blocks of health. So, I mean, that's never any fun to get hit by that thing. And see, I do end up, actually, spoiler alert, I do end up dying in this attempt too. But, I mean, that's just unfortunately what happens in this game. I mean, this was one of those NES games that you just had to play the hell out of it just to get better at it. And they decided to make it short, but then the levels are damn near impossible near the end. Of course, this game is at least the fun kind of hard. I don't really know why I was having problems just punching when, or ducking and punching. I mean, I don't really know what the problem was there. Like, see, right there, I'd end up getting hit. I don't know, I think maybe because I was using turbo that, sometimes he just slipped through, and not having, invincibility frames, which is actually really important for the 4th boss. Or just, being able to abuse invincibility frames, which is kind of the way to go about doing it. And also, sometimes it is kind of random as to when he decides to use lightning and when he decides to, shoot. And then, fortunately, I was able to beat him on this attempt. And then I kind of forgot you actually had to go to him in order to trigger the ending. But either way, now the final confrontation between Batman and the Joker's over. Batman does throw the Joker off the, off the cathedral. So I don't remember if it's a cathedral or a clock tower. I think it was probably a cathedral, I don't really remember. But either way, we get to see the ending sequence, which is pretty solid, but I actually do like the prototype ending a little bit better. And I am going to put a link in the description as to the cutscenes from the prototype. Because they actually do make Vicky Vale relevant in that game. And then they do have the credits too, and actually the cutscenes look a lot different too. But I mean, we'll discuss more into that a little bit. I mean, just once you see the description, and then just comment for yourself which one you like better. But either way, that's the end of Batman. Really, really awesome game. I mean, terrific game, terrific design, terrific music. I mean, it does have some things to do with the movie, but at the end of the day, this game's just a lot of fun to play, and that's really what's important. But up next, I'm probably going to be recording this one a little bit more slowly, but I am going to be doing the Halloween Let's Play. So stay tuned for A Nightmare on Elm Street for the NES. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty fun one. Actually looking forward to that one. I mean, I have taken on some other game. Actually, I think that might be my first LJN game, even though technically Rare made it, but I know LJN published it. So, let's see, also, I am gonna put up an announcement on either Brywheel or the Let's Play Corner about a possible Q&A Let's Play. And that is probably gonna be Felix the Cat, and that's probably how I'm going to structure that Let's Play, is that I'm probably just gonna record all the footage in one go-around, and then post a thread of, like, questions you want to see for the Q&A, and then maybe just write them down and then answer them. And then I'll also throw in some, like, top 5s of different things I've done on my Let's Play channel. And yeah, I mean, that's really about it. This thing actually does stick around for a while, but you do eventually go back to the title screen. But I think I am just going to cut it off a little bit early. So with all that said, thank you very much for watching, And I will see you on Halloween.